The United States military is currently moving massive floating fortresses like the USS Wasp and the USS Tripoli into the waters of the Persian Gulf. These are amphibious assault ships, self-contained military bases that house 5,000 Marines, their armored vehicles, and enough supplies to sustain a full-scale ground invasion from the sea. The decks are built to launch F-35B stealth fighters. Because these ships lack the full runway of a standard carrier, these jets utilize specialized engines to perform vertical takeoffs, allowing them to scramble into the air from a dead stop. For rapid deployment, they rely on V-22 Osprey tiltrotors. These aircraft function as a hybrid between a helicopter and a plane, taking off vertically before tilting their engines forward to reach the speeds required for long-range transport. This deployment is a massive show of conventional force. However, superpower projection on this scale depends on a set of traditional rules that are currently being challenged by a very different type of adversary. Rather than attempting to match the United States ship for ship, Iranian forces employ asymmetric warfare. They prioritize tactics that exploit the U.S. military's reliance on extremely complex and expensive hardware. At sea, they deploy a Mosquito fleet, swarms of small, high-speed boats. These vessels are cheap to produce, difficult to track, and can be outfitted with 4 missiles each, allowing them to harass much larger naval targets. On the ground, any invading force is funneled into a network of mountains and deserts. Below the surface, fortified tunnel systems allow defenders to move and strike without ever being seen by the advanced sensors of the aircraft above. When multi-billion-dollar assets are forced to fight decentralized, low-cost hazards, technological superiority can quickly become a logistical burden. To defend against incoming threats, these ships rely on the Close-In Weapon System, or CIWS. It is a radar-guided rotary cannon designed to shred missiles by firing a wall of lead at a rate of 6,000 rounds per minute. This chart shows the math behind a drone swarm attack. While the CIWS is incredibly accurate, its ammunition is finite. By sending hundreds of low-cost drones at once, an adversary can force the system to expend its entire magazine in a matter of seconds. This is the saturation point. When the defensive system runs out of ammunition while incoming targets are still in the air, the multi-billion-dollar ship is effectively defenseless. Once the automated defenses are exhausted by the drones, a secondary wave of heavier ballistic missiles is launched. These strikes hit the hull after the shield of the CIWS has been depleted. In this environment, tactical success isn't determined by who has the most advanced radar, but by who can outlast the opponent's capacity to reload. The strategy of bypassing defenses also applies to the air. Highly advanced U.S. fighter jets, like the F-15 Eagle, are being successfully tracked and downed despite their speed and electronic countermeasures. The vulnerability is heat. A jet engine operates at temperatures as high as 600 degrees Celsius, creating a thermal signature that cannot be hidden. Infrared, heat-seeking missiles ignore radar entirely, locking onto the engine's exhaust to guide themselves to the target. This thermal tracking has also claimed the heavily armored A-10 Warthog, neutralizing America's primary tool for close air support on the ground. To achieve this accuracy, Iranian forces are utilizing real-time satellite data provided by foreign allies. This allows them to monitor aircraft movements with surgical precision without ever activating their own traceable radar. This precision was demonstrated in a strike on a U.S. AWACS plane. By hitting the tail stabilizer while the aircraft was stationary, the missile grounded the region's primary early warning radar system. By combining heat-seeking missiles with satellite targeting, asymmetric forces can blind regional radar and bypass traditional air defense, severing a commander's ability to monitor their own airspace. The strategy extends beyond military hardware to the control of global geography. The Strait of Hormuz is a critical choke point. Nearly 20% of the world's oil supply passes through this narrow passage under the constant threat of localized strikes. In the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, proxy rebel groups utilize similar tactics to target commercial shipping. These small-scale engagements have the power to hold 40% of global trade hostage by forcing cargo ships to reroute thousands of miles around Africa. The region also holds a critical vulnerability: the water desalination plants that sustain every major city in the desert. These massive industrial facilities are essential for survival, yet they lack military-grade shielding. Striking just a few of these plants with chemical payloads or dirty contaminants would instantly leave millions of people without drinking water. This humanitarian threat creates a stalemate, as allies would likely demand a U.S. withdrawal to protect their civilian populations. To enforce this threat, a massive stockpile of ballistic missiles is kept in a state of constant readiness, aimed directly at the region's most vital economic and civilian infrastructure. Conventional military supremacy cannot easily overcome these variables. When an adversary can bypass radar, outlast defense systems, and hold drinking water hostage, the traditional rules of warfare no longer apply.